Hey everyone, it's Mona. I'm in the craft room and I'm going to start a new series called Garbage to Gorgeous, and this is going to be my first project. I was out and about for work and I found the stool and I thought, there's been a lot of stuff in the trash lately. It must be spring. People must be doing a lot of spring cleaning, and I thought this is a nice sturdy stool and I thought I could have a lot of fun making this over. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to clean it, and just remember, I'm not restoring antiques or anything of any great value here. I'm just redoing the stool, and it's dirty and I don't know where it's been, what it's been through. So what I like to do is I take a little bit of warm water and I have some bleach mixed in there, and I like to just clean it. Now I got the filth off, I washed it twice, and I'm going to let it dry, but in the meantime, like, I have a lot of chipping paint happening here, and you want to get that off before you start painting, otherwise your new paint will just peel right off. So all I'm doing is using a scraper and peeling, and a lot of the stuff is coming right off. I have cleaned the stool and sanded it with 100 grit sandpaper just to rough everything up, the top, the bottom, and then I took a damp cloth and just wiped everything down to get all of the dust off. Now I have a little wood patch here, and what I'm planning on doing, there's a hole in the top of the stool and I don't really know why, but I have this wood filler. I'm just gonna squeeze some right in there, squish it in, and then I'm going to just take my little scraper, go over it. If I pull too much out, squish it back in and pull it so it's pretty well flat and filled in. Now I'm not expecting the top of this to be perfect, so this isn't going to matter, but at least we're not going to have a big old hole in there. And we'll let that dry. We'll come back, do one quick sand over it. The stool's ready for me to paint, and I found this paint. It's Americana Decor Chalky Finish in this light blue, and I found it at Home Depot. Now I'm just going to paint the legs with this blue color. And the top we'll worry about once that, that wood filler is dry. We will take care of the top. Now I have some acrylic paints, and I have a tapioca color and just plain white. And I didn't want to go just totally white on this, so I could have, I'm going to put these two together and kind of see how it comes out. And I can always go over it again if it doesn't turn out, but I got half tapioca, half white, and I'm just going to paint this up. Now just so you know, I did sand this down and I wiped it clean first also. I went over the stool twice with the mix of the plain white and the parchment colored acrylic paint, and now I'm going to stencil on my owls. And because I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to do it, I stenciled them out on cardstock, and then I started placing them around to kind of see what I wanted to do. And then I realized they're different sizes, so if I did the different ones, it wouldn't look quite right. So what I'm going to do, I decided on this guy in a baby pink. I'm going to put a little acrylic paint out, and I'm going to place it on the first spot. And this is kind of going to determine everything else. I'm putting a little bit of paint on here, and then I have a paper towel where I'll take a bunch of it off because I don't want it too clumpy. And then I'll start to stencil. I'm going to hold this down and just take the paint, and I want to be careful that this won't shift. And I'm stippling it down. You can do a swirling motion if you want. You can put a little spray adhesive, repositional spray adhesive on the back. feeling pretty okay that I'm not going to shift it too much. Okay. So here's the first one, which I will let that dry, and then I will do 3 more. The stencils have dried, and now I'm going to take my chalk paint again, and all I'm going to do is dip in the end of this marker right into the paint, and I'm going to test it out on a piece of paper first, and I'm going to just put little dots in for the eyes. So there that is, and we will let that dry as well. Everything is dry on top, and now I'm just going to use this polyacrylic protective finish. It's a clear gloss. Take my paintbrush, and this is water cleanup, so that is always something that I like. And I'm going to put a couple of coats on here just to protect it so that the design doesn't rub off if somebody sits on it, and it'll last a little bit longer. Here's the stool. It is all finished. It's nice and blue here. That paint covered really nicely, and it gave it a nice chalky look. Here's the top, and I stenciled the owls on there, and the stencils were from Hobby Lobby. I don't think I mentioned that before. And I put a couple coats of the protective finish on there. And the protective finish I had was high gloss or clear gloss. And I kind of didn't want it quite that high of a glossy finish, so I put a couple coats on, and the third coat put on, but I took a paper towel and then wiped it off, very lightly wiped it off. And it kind of cut down on the shine a little bit. It still has a shine, it's still protected. It just doesn't look quite so high gloss as it did before, which is what I was looking for. It almost gives it a little bit more of a satiny finish. I hope you like it. This is the first in my series of the Garbage to Gorgeous, and I would love to know what you think. This was a very simple makeover of the stool that otherwise would have been in the trash, and it's sturdy, it would work, and it would look really cute. It could be used as a stool, or it could even be used as like a little side table. Let me know what you think in the comments below. We will see you next time. Happy crafting and happy garbage picking.